What's up, guys? So I want to answer a question that a lot of you guys have asked me. Over the years that I've been coaching people and talking to a lot of people as far as like real estate investing and motivation in general, a lot of people ask me, well, Brian, how do you stay motivated? How do you get motivated? How do you force yourself to action? Are you serious? Guys, listen to me. You have to decide what you want. I mean, as simple as that sounds, you have to decide what it is that you want, and then you have to go after that with a burning passion. You have to go after that with something that it's got to be like a do or die mentality. So for example, you want to get involved in real estate investing. You want to take your business to the next level. Well, let me ask you something. Do your actions match up with what you're saying you want to do? Think about that. Because if you're saying you want to do something, you have to have actions to back up what you're saying. So in other words, if you want to be a more successful real estate investor, if you want to take your business to the next level, at the end of the day, guys, you need to decide exactly what it is that you want. Pick your goal. Here's an amount of money I want to make investing, and then work backwards and say, okay, well, if I want to make this much per year to leave my job, let's say you're still working for somebody else, unfortunately, and I need to make $120,000 a year, or $40,000 a year, or $80,000, whatever it is. So take the annual figure, divide it by 12, you're going to come up with a monthly amount. Then you're going to say, okay, how many deals do I have to do? Well, are you doing wholesaling? Are you wholesaling your deals? Do you want to get involved in wholesaling? Are you going to plan on averaging 5,000 per wholesale, 10,000, 2,000? Whatever the number it is, use math, use basic mathematics and say, okay, so I want to replace a $8,000 a month job. Great. Okay. So therefore, in a quarter, which is 3 months, I need to replace $24,000. Okay, so then if you're averaging, if you want to do wholesaling, and you're going to make, let's just say between 5 and 10, let's say $5,000. So you know that you need to do 1.5 wholesale deals per month, which over 3 months is 4.5. Let's call it 5. You need to wholesale 5 properties a quarter, which is 20 a year. 20 times 5, and there's your math. If you're going to do fix and flips, and if you're in your area, your average fix and flip deal, net is going to make you 40 grand. Well, you need to do, what's that? 2, right? So again, it has to be specific. It has to be get down to the mathematics of what you want to do. Determine, okay, here's where I'm at right now. Here's how much I'm making on an annual basis. And guys, don't get confused too, because a lot of times you figure, well, I'm making 80 grand, 100 grand at my job. Well, guess what? If you're making that money as a W-2, you're also paying 30, 40% in taxes. As an entrepreneur running your business through an EIN, through a tax ID, an LLC, you're going to pay half that if you know what you're doing. So the reality is you don't have to make as much as you're making now if you're running it through your business as an entrepreneur. So let's say, for example, all right, let's just take a look at numbers. So $8,000 a month would be, I don't know, what's that? $96,000 a year, right? So it's 100 grand a year. So $8,000 a month. So in a quarter, again, it's $24,000. You know that you need to make 24 grand a quarter. So in 2 months, you need to make $48,000. Well, that's about a flip a quarter. That's 4 a year. 4 fix and flips per year, and you don't need your job anymore, give or take. All right. So again, guys, you need to look at what you want to do, who you want to become. Look at the mathematics of the situation, and then just work backwards. Guys, everything comes down to your desires inside of your heart. People say all the time, well, and I got asked this actually last week, well, how do I begin? I haven't started yet. Well, you have to decide why you want to start. You have to decide what in your life is broken, what in your life is not working where you want it to be, so that you want to be a real estate investor, that you want to become a more successful investor, okay? So for example, if you have a job and you're working 40 hours a week and you wake up in the morning, you get ready, let's say it's a half hour, and then you commute, let's say it's an hour, a half hour, and then you come home, you're talking about a 10-hour workday. So over a 5-day work week, guys, you're talking about 60 hours a week. If you're willing to devote 60 hours a week to make whatever you're making right now, how many hours a week are you willing to commit to get rid of that garbage? Are you willing to commit another 60 hours? Are you? Because you see, there are 3 batches of 8 hours in every day. So you have 8 hours for work, 8 hours for sleep, and 8 hours for whatever. So let's say you work 8 hours. Let's say you put 8 hours to sleep. Let's say you have 8 hours left. What are you doing with those 8 hours? Are you scrolling through Facebook? Right? Are you laying on the couch? Are you tired? What are you doing with those extra 8 hours? If you took half of that, if you took 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, which is 20 hours a week, that's a part-time job, right? And you committed that you're going to put in 20 hours a week into your real estate investing business, where do you think you'd be in a year? Where do you think you'd be in 90 days? Where do you think you'd be in a month? Because you see, one of the biggest problems I see with a lot of people is they talk, right? They want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. Well, is your action backing up your words? Are you actually putting in the time? And if you don't know what to do to put in the time, well then seek out somebody who can help you. Find somebody who can actually guide you, coach you, mentor you into showing you exactly where to devote your time. Guys, it's not rocket science. You know, I understand, don't get me wrong, I've had 28 jobs in my life. Granted, I was fired from every one of them, but I knew that eventually I wanted to work for myself. And I knew that I would have to work and be willing to work equally as hard for myself as I was willing to work for another man. So once you get this concept in your head, once you understand that you are the master, the complete master of your destiny, your future, you are the captain of your soul. Do you get that? Do you realize that where you are today is the direct result of every decision, every thought you've had up until this point? Do you realize that? Are you willing to take the responsibility to own it and realize that where you are today is because of who you are? The decisions you've made, the thoughts you've had? And are you willing to change it? Because if you are, and if you're willing to come to that realization in pure honesty, really have some self-realization of who you are, and know that you've maybe screwed up, fine, great, we all do, guys. Where do you want to go from today forward? Where do you want to begin, as in today, and change the rest of your life? Think about what you want. Picture the dreams in your mind. And I'm not talking yachts and Bugattis and all this bullshit. I'm talking about real life. I'm talking about getting rid of the credit cards that you pay the minimums on every month but can't seem to pay them off, because guess what? That's how it's rigged. I'm talking about never having enough money to finish the month. You're working hard, you're tired, but you just seem to get by somehow, sometimes. Guys, until you make that decision, until you make that burning decision, take it to a burning desire and say, you know what? I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to make a change in my life. Yes, I'm going to get up and do the best I can at my job. You know, you have a boss, you deserve. You owe it to your boss, to your company, to give them the best 8 or so hours that you can. But when you come home, when it's your time, you decide what you're going to do with that time. You decide how you're going to invest it. Keyword, invest. Because if you invest that in your future, and you take the positive action steps to actually take a better path for your life, the change in your life that's going to happen is closer than you know. It's closer than you realize. And I swear to you, if you just decide today, take out a pen and paper and write down, where do I want to be in a year? Where do I want to be in 5 years? How much money do I have to replace? How much debt do I have to pay off? A lot of you are in so much debt, you don't even know where to begin. Take every credit card you have, write down the outstanding balance, total it up, and say, here's how much I have to get rid of. It has to be mathematical, guys. Maybe my dad was an engineer, so maybe obviously the mathematics and all it sticks with me, but it's true. Let's be, very specific in your goals, specific in your actions. So here's how much debt I want to pay off to be free. Come up with the numbers. Determine the amount of annual income you need, the amount of quarterly and monthly income you need, the corresponding amount of deals as a real estate investor you need to perform and close to achieve that goal. And then you start taking the action. And then you start running your mail campaigns. You start getting out there to networking meetings. You start doing what it takes to finally become a free human being. Think about that. Think about that. Because if you're not where you want to be today, if you don't change anything in the next day, 90 days, a year, 1 year from now, you could pull this video up and watch it and you'll be in the same damn place. Do you really want that? Do you really want a year from now, on July 29th, 2017, to be sitting in the same place? Of course you don't. That's why you're watching this video. That's why you've been listening to me for the last 10 minutes. Guys, I'm not a rocket scientist, and I'm no silver spoon, but I'm very successful because I determined, and I learned a long time ago, that you have to determine what you want, come up with a specific game plan on how to achieve it, and then give it everything you have. Be willing to die for that goal. It has to become, like Napoleon Hill says, a definite major purpose. And you remind yourself, write it down on the postcard, put it in your phone, put it in the notes, but you read that damn thing every day. Here's who I'm going to become. Here's who I am. And start speaking it. And I promise you, I swear to you, your life will change. And if you don't do it, you think this is all bullshit, well, guess what? A year from now, you can pull up this video and you'll be sitting in the same damn place. But if you're ready to change and you want to do something different, this is how to do it. This is what's worked for thousands and millions of people over the course of the entire history of the human race. You come up with a goal. You turn it into a definite major purpose. You create a burning desire in your heart that you will live or die until you achieve it. And then you give it all you got. So guys, I hope that helps. A little bit of wisdom. I hope. My 41 years on this earth, I know what works, I know what doesn't. This works. Please trust me. Give it a shot. Take a pen and paper, write it down, put it in your phone, whatever. Okay, pen and paper dates me a little bit. I'm 41, right? Nobody uses pen and paper anymore. Put it in your phone, put it in the notes, put something down. Determine who you want to be and who you want to become, and read it every damn day. And then you work your ass off, and I promise you it's going to come true. So guys, have a great day. I will look forward to talking to you on the next one, but let this really sink in, please. Watch this again if you have to. Because you know the difference between those who are successful and those who are not. It's not the amount of money they came from. It's not their genetics. It's not their family. It's not how they look, how skinny, how fat they are, any of that other stuff. None of that matters. It's what's in here. And it's what's in here. Get it in your heart. Internalize it. And you're going to become the best version of you that you've ever become, so help me God. Have a great day, guys. We'll talk to you soon.